ahead, yeah.
so we can get the meeting starting for this evening. First of all, what I'd like to do is I'd like to approve the minutes from the previous meeting, but I'll have Mr. Canizero explain that they are the meetings from November of last year.
Sure. The last time, just so for the members' recollection, the last time this committee met and actually had a quorum was November 27th, 2017. It met in March of this year, but we didn't have a quorum, so no action could be taken, and there were no minutes from the March committee meeting. So when you look at it, you're approving the November 27th, 2017 minutes.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve? Mr. Mayo, second. Mr. Fine, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. First order of business this evening is authorizing a lease agreement for the rental of corporate suite number 21 at the Civic Center. Mr. Belvin.
Mr. Chairman, this is a renewal for Tech Detected Coatings Incorporated. They've been a good suite holder for many years and have continued to make their payments on a timely basis. This is just a renewal based on the same terms and conditions as the rest of the suites, and would ask that we give them their 3-year lease.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the audience? Can I have a motion to approve? Mr. Mayo, second. Mr. Fine, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Also, for this evening, the second thing is reviewing the income statement.
So the income statements that you have, that's period ended October 31, 2018, if you don't mind going to that. Through the end of October, this is for January through October 2018, our year-to-date numbers are ahead of budget. We currently have a net income of $1,051,487, which is ahead of the budget of $766,689 in a sizable amount, which we're very happy about. We've really worked hard to keep expenses down and to maximize revenues wherever we can. The major events that we had in October was a major plus for us for our budget, over $400,000 of net income from October alone. And it shows you how important the concerts are. The major concert events are where we make the majority of the money for the county. And those concerts have been plentiful recently, and going into next year, we've got a great schedule of concerts. Having the weekend dates available has made a big difference for us, whereas we didn't have them prior to this past year, as many weekend dates, because as many of you know, we used to have a hockey team. Would love to still have a hockey team, but there is nothing available through the AHL currently. And in the meantime, those dates are being filled up with these good-sized paid day concerts for us. So I'm happy to say we've done very well with it. Looking ahead, we've got some confirmed shows such as Elton John, Panic at the Disco, Mumford & Sons, Kenny Chesney, Blake Shelton, just a long list of really good-sized names that we know are going to either sell out or come close to selling out. And I think one of the events that I'd like to just bring up and highlight is the Aurora Games. This event, which is a professional athlete, female-only event, very similar to the Olympics, which will have athletes coming in from approximately 30 countries. And these are the best in gymnastics, beach volleyball, figure skating, ice hockey, basketball, 6 different sports. And it's the best professional athletes from all the different countries. And they're coming to Albany. This is the first time the event's going to take place, and then every 2 years it'll continue. We'll have national broadcasts with ESPN, 3 hours a night in prime time for each of 5 nights. And it's really going to put Albany on the map. So this is what I'm really excited about, and I think we'll make some good money with it as well.
Just like to correct, Albany's already on the map.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
I mean-
absolutely. Just trying to point out the fact that it's going to be nicely televised.
Any other, yes, sir, Mr. Demolis?
Why is there such a big this difference in the depreciation? Is it 195,000? What do you have? equipment or something, guys?
Well, our year-to-date is actually less than the budget. It's $173,108 versus $195,830. Much of the depreciation is carry forward, Terry, from prior years. And the only thing that would get depreciated would be something that's a piece of equipment or computers and so forth. Very similar to the way the county depreciates its property. Here, it's the same thing with us. We use the same process.
Any other questions, Mr. Fine?
I noticed that Johnny Rockets is now closed during the day. Do you have any information on that?
Sure, and we're not happy about that, and nor should any of you be happy about it. I'm sure you're not. We had some issues with the owner of Johnny Rockets not being open during the day for lunch, and then at a certain point, probably in June or so, we received word from him that his finances were not where he needed them to be, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to continue even on event nights. He did continue on event nights up until about the end of August. There is currently a offer on the table from Aramark to purchase all of the equipment except for the county's equipment. The county owns approximately $200,000 worth of kitchen equipment and various other things that have been tagged by county DGS. So that investment is there and will be protected forever. But the other things like the TVs and the POS systems and security and cameras and all the other things, the furniture, bar equipment, all of those things that are not county equipment. There's an offer on the table from Aramark to purchase all of that. And then Aramark will, once that's done, will come to the table with an offer for the county legislature and for the county executive's office to be able to consider on an interim basis until a deal can be presented with a brand that would go in and be a permanent tenant. So where I'm going with that is Aramark would operate it temporarily until, and I don't want to name the name, but there's a couple of very good-sized brands that are interested in going in there. And once that offer comes to the table and comes to fruition, we'll bring it to this board, we'll bring it to the county exec's office for approval.
Okay, thank you. Is it possible to be profitable at this location? It seems like businesses keep failing.
It's a good question. We have seen a number of different bars and restaurants that have been in there in the past. Since the building opened, we've had some issues with keeping somebody in there that can make it viable. There are people out there that believe it can be profitable. It's tough to be open from 11 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. It's almost impossible to be able to do that. On event nights, business is there, it's an automatic, it's easy. But the plan that probably will work the best, and this is what's really being considered, at least on the temporary interim basis by Aramark, is to have it open for lunches during the day and then have it open whenever there's events. And that, from a labor standpoint, is something that Aramark thinks that they can do. If the other brand that's being talked about, there's a negotiation ongoing between Aramark, us, and a brand. And this local brand has establishments in many different locations in this area. We believe that that brand will probably have a lot more success because of their name and menu and what they've done in the community. But I don't want to say who that is until we get closer down the road to an actual proposal.
Okay. There's a food court that's going to open across the street. Do you have a time frame for that? And do you think that that will help whatever business is in that Johnny Rockets location?
I think anything that can go in that spot across the street in the old Pagliacci's would be a plus. I've heard about the food court. It was supposed to be open in August. Then I heard September. Still is nowhere near, from what I understand, being close to being ready to open. It's a disappointment that they're not. I think anything that brings more people down from state and from around the other areas to our part of South Pearl Street will only help whatever goes into the old Johnny Rocket space. It's only going to help it. I think it'll help the entire spot, especially when it comes to Empire block parties, other special events. We do have plans to bring in special events next summer, such as a Rib Fest and a Wing and Beer Fest and various other things that will already complement what's there. We have the movie series that we did this past summer, and it was very successful. We had 200 to 300 people that watched movies out on the street, and it helped downtown businesses with a lot of business that came in. But I think we can use that space for even more things, so we're going to try to do that. And there again, a food court and Pagliacci's or whatever restaurant, food establishment goes in there will only help us.
Great. Mr. Mayo, I think is next.
The Aurora Games, is that men and women both?
No, it's only woman.
And when is it going to be?
August 20 to 25 of next year.
Thank you.
Mr. DeMolos?
Is the lease, has that ended with Johnny Rockets?
Not yet.
So he's going to stay to the end of his lease?
I can't say that. I can tell you that we have an existing lease that's a long-term lease that still has to be worked on by the county attorney. So there are...
So he has obligation to sign lease with us,
He
long-term?
does. He absolutely does.
So he's got to be obligated for the lease, or
As of right now...
pay a penalty?
As of right now, he is, but I will tell you that the county attorney is involved with discussions with the current owner as it relates to that lease. I don't know what the negotiations are, Gary. I would be happy to share them if I did, but I can tell you that not having somebody in the space is not good. I think it's in the current owners, General Rockets owners.
Is that an LLC?
I believe it is an LLC.
It is?
Yeah. But I think that there may be a personal guarantee on there that may also help. But the long and short of it is, I think it's better to have a tenant in there. And if a negotiation can take place where there's a cutoff, where whatever is owed from point A back is something that he's responsible for. And if the next party that goes in can take over from a certain spot, so revenues will continue to flow into the county from that spot on, they might be worth negotiating an out for that party and not try to hold them for the entire run, because somebody else will be in there operating.
Well, he last a year, was he?
A little bit more, about a year and a half.
Year and a half? Well, we anticipated this. That's why we bought the equipment in the kitchen, so that it will make it easier for us for the next tenant.
Right.
And it's coming through fruition like
Yeah.
that. What's going on with the radio station space?
Currently vacant. Radio station has moved out. We're currently looking for another tenant that can go in there.
What's the rent on that?
It's approximately $13 per square foot.
What square feet is it? You know?
I think it's about 1,500 if I recall.
Oh, that's small.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, Mr. Belver, thank you very much. Do I have a motion
Thank
to
you.
adjourn?
Good job.
Thanks.
Motion to adjourn? Dave?
Motion.
Second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.